they're probably all busy negotiating deals with companies and jobs post the next election. So I think they're tired, they're worn out, they've run their course, they've run out of ideas. So of course they are freeing the mother hen and looking after their own interests.
Do the Conservatives love the drama, or what exactly is going on here? Joan Bakewell, Will Dry, has given a few quotes which are quite dramatic. He says, it became clear to me we weren't providing the bold, decisive action required to overcome those challenges. I concluded sorrowfully the Conservatives are heading for the most almighty of defeats. And he also said, if Nigel Farage, the former UKIP leader, returned to frontline politics, quote, the Conservative Party essentially won't exist by Christmas. Now, Joan, he may have a point, but why might the Conservatives want to go to that place again, that place of, the kind of ever-revolving podium outside number 10?
Well, obviously they're running out of steam. They know their time is up. They're probably all busy negotiating deals with companies and jobs post the next election. So I think they're tired, they're worn out, they've run their course, they've run out of ideas. So of course they are freeing the mother hen and looking after their own interests. And I think that's what's happening. It's natural. It's part of the change that's happening. And that is a routine between parties as power swings from one to another. And that's what we're witnessing.
Andrew Billen, would you have, maybe I'm being really, really naive here, but would you have expected an orderly potential exit?
Well, I think we are in a psychodrama now, and that absolutely precludes any kind of order. This is the greatest example of displacement activity I've seen for years. It's more fun to plot than to govern. The Tories have given up governing. They've turned on themselves, and they've identified the problem as being Rishi Sunak, who, to me, probably in teaching terms, school terms, probably isn't the greatest supply teacher in the world. But look at the class he's been sent to control. It's a complete nightmare.
Do you think
they have to deal with Nigel Farage, of course, who does enjoy snapping at their heels all the time, given any opportunity. So there is a whole following that he has encouraged, who like now to snipe at what they see as a failing and outgoing Tory government.
But what do you think will actually happen here? Because is this just some guy that no one has ever heard of in an office, being paid for, by who knows whom, with actually not that many supporters, Joan?
I've no way of knowing the answer to that, but I suspect that he's got quite a lot of supporters and no doubt money. There's always a lot of money swilling around the fringes of the Tory party, and they quite like infighting. They're rather good at it. They plot very well. They've got smart clubs where they can converge together and decide their futures. They've got a lot of money invested in the government, and they stand to lose opportunities. They're busy now looking around for where the next opportunities will come. So it's a Jacobean tragedy, really. There'll be bodies on the stage, but the next generation will come along with their knives at the ready.
Andrew Billen, do you think this is something that Rishi Sunak can ignore, actually? Because again, as I said, who is this guy? No one really knows who he is. I don't know how much actual overt support there is for, I'm losing track of this. Is it Popular Conservatives? I don't know how popular they are, or is that a different group? Who knows? There seem to be very many of them. We're told that the Conservative Party is a broad church, which means that they're all kind of splintering into various groups. But do you actually think that we can ignore this latest episode, and that Rishi Sunak will limp home, that he will be the Conservative leader when the election comes?
Oh, he will be, and he's got to ignore it. If he spends a second of his time addressing this ridiculous party he's attached to, he's going to go down there as one of the worst prime ministers, well, since Boris Johnson, I suppose. But if I was a power mad plutocrat, I would not be spending my money on Will Dry. I'd be spending my money on lobbying the Labour Party, which is about to come into power this year, and get them on side. exactly. Who is Will Dry? He looks too young even to have watched The West Wing. And maybe he was watching Borgen, that Danish drama about government where everybody was walking up and down the corridors of power looking beautiful because everybody in Denmark is beautiful.
Joan, I just want
apart from Lars von Trier, incidentally, I met.
Oh, is he no looker? Well, let's not get into that. So that's a distraction. We don't need to go down that particular blind alley. I don't think. Joan, do you feel a bit sorry for Rishi? Do you feel sorry for Rishi Sunak at all, Joan? Because for the Labour Party, Keir Starmer's basically told, get rid of your militant left, get rid of the ghost of Corbyn, you become electable. The Conservative Party,
with a straight face, asking me to feel sorry for Rishi Sunak.
I'm asking if you are. No, you tell me to stick it. Of course you can. But I just wonder the passage to power for Labour is get rid of Corbyn, get rid of the ghost of his policies, and look electable. Is it as straightforward as Rishi Sunak doing that to the right of his party, or are there other right more embedded? So actually, he's not got a straightforward means of dealing this in the way that, say, Keir Starmer had.
Well, he hasn't, because he's at a different stage in the drama.
Yeah.
I mean, he is in the last act of a tragedy. The Labour Party, might well be a comedy, but it's certainly limbering up for a launch in the first act when things will change. So they're at different stages in the psychodrama that is political life. How can he deal with it? With dignity, perhaps? He's not going to go. They're all going to be irritated. There'll be bodies all over the stage. And we'll cheer as the curtain comes down and the next one goes up.
Well, some